It was a quiet night in the Galactic Empire's command center. Stars drifted across the big screen, everything calm, until a red alert flashed. "Unknown signal detected," shouted Officer Lyra. Everyone turned to the monitor. A strange energy wave was coming from the Orion Rift, a dead zone where no ship ever returned. Admiral Corrin stood up slowly. "Show me the source." The screen zoomed in. A massive dark object appeared, drifting through the void. No identification code. No communication signal. No life signs, just silence. "Is it a pirate vessel?" someone asked. "No," Lyra whispered. "It's too large, too perfect in shape." Scanners tried to lock on, but the data kept changing, as if the ship was rewriting reality itself. Every second, its readings grew stronger, then suddenly, all screens flickered black. "System interference," yelled the tech officer. "It's jamming our signals." The lights dimmed. Static filled the air. Through the silence, the unknown ship moved, slow, deliberate, powerful. Its surface was smooth and black, covered with glowing blue lines that pulsed like veins. It didn't broadcast any message. Then, the radar blinked. "Target locked." The words appeared across every screen in red. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Admiral Corrin stared at the hologram, at the massive shadow now facing them directly. He whispered, "What kind of ship is that?" But before anyone could answer, a deep sound echoed through space, like thunder in a vacuum. Something ancient. Something human. And in that moment, everyone knew. The galaxy was about to change forever. The command center burst into chaos. Officers ran between consoles, shouting orders that made no sense. The unknown ship hung in space, unmoving, silent, and terrifying. Admiral Corrin gripped the edge of his desk. "Open a channel. Try communication again." "No response, sir," Officer Lyra replied, her voice shaking. "It's not ignoring us, it's blocking us." The Admiral stared at the hologram of the ship. It looked dead, but the energy around it pulsed like a living heart. Every few seconds, strange symbols flashed across the screen. Language unknown, patterns never seen before. Then a young officer whispered, "Could it be a human design?" The entire room went silent. Humans had vanished from galactic records hundreds of years ago, weak, forgotten, scattered. No one believed they could build something like this. "Don't be ridiculous," Corrin snapped. "Humans don't have ships like that." But inside, even he wasn't sure. Suddenly, one of the Empire's patrol cruisers drifted too close to the object. "Captain Vereen, pull back immediately." Corrin shouted through the comms, no answer. The cruiser kept moving. Then, the radar blinked. A thin blue beam of light stretched from the unknown ship. It touched the cruiser for less than a second. No explosion. No fire. The entire ship vanished. "Where did it go?" Lyra screamed. "Gone," the tech officer whispered. "Not destroyed, just erased." Corrin's heart pounded. For the first time in his career, he felt fear. Real fear. He looked at the screen again. The dark ship was turning slowly, its front now facing the entire Imperial fleet. And then, across all frequencies, one message appeared. "Observation complete. Prepare for judgment." Admiral Corrin stood frozen. The words "prepare for judgment" echoed through every ship in the fleet. No one understood what it meant, but everyone felt the danger. "Form battle lines," Corrin shouted. "All ships ready weapons." Hundreds of Imperial warships moved into formation, their plasma cannons glowing bright in the darkness of space. The unknown vessel didn't react. It just floated there, silent and still, as if it didn't care. Corrin's voice was cold.
"Fire at will."
A storm of plasma fire erupted across the void. Blue, red and white beams crossed the stars, striking directly on the black surface of the mysterious ship. For a moment, the crew felt hope, until they saw the result. The beams bent away. They didn't explode or fade, they simply curved off, like light avoiding a mirror that wasn't there. "Impossible," Officer Lyra whispered. "It's bending space itself." Before anyone could react, the enemy ship lit up. Thin glowing lines spread across its hull like veins of lightning. Then, a single point of light formed at its center, small, calm and blue. Energy spike detected. The tech officer shouted. Corrin's eyes widened. "Brace for impact!" A single beam fired, silent, clean and terrifying. It struck the Empire's lead destroyer. In one instant, the ship vanished, no explosion, no debris, nothing left but empty space. Every officer stared in horror. One shot. One kill. The beam faded. Then a voice came over the comms, not alien but cold. And human. You fired first. Now you will learn what humans became. The fleet fell silent. Corin realized the truth. The galaxy's ghosts had returned. The command center was silent. No one spoke. No one moved. The voice that came through the comms was clear, strong, and human. Admiral Corin couldn't believe it. Humans? That's impossible, he whispered, but deep down he already knew it was true. Inside the unknown warship, a man stood before a glowing console. His uniform was old, his eyes calm but filled with something deeper, pain and purpose. Captain Arik Hayes, commander of the Behemoth-class warship. Oblivion. Target status? He asked. The ship's AI, a soft female voice, replied, Imperial fleet locked, awaiting your order. Arik looked out the wide glass viewport. The stars stretched before him, cold, endless, and full of enemies who had once called humans inferior. Centuries, he murmured. Centuries they ruled. Centuries they forgot what we endured. His hand tightened into a fist. Time to remind them. The AI's lights pulsed gently. Weapons ready, Captain. Fire at will. Outside, the Oblivion awakened. Blue energy flared across its hull, spreading like fire through veins of metal. The ship moved, fast, graceful, unstoppable. It fired again, and 3 Imperial cruisers disappeared in perfect silence. Every shot was precise. Clean final. Back in the Empire's command center, Corin shouted, Find their base! Find where they came from! But no data existed. The sensors showed nothing, as if the ship didn't belong to their universe at all. Then the human voice returned, calm and cold. You enslaved us. You erased our history. Now we write it again. And with that, the Oblivion vanished, leaving behind only wreckage and fear. The destruction spread across every screen in the command center. Hundreds of Imperial ships had been wiped out, without sound, without warning. Only silence followed, and that silence was louder than any explosion. Admiral Corin slammed his fist on the console. Send in reinforcements. I want every fleet in range to converge. Yes, sir, shouted Officer Lyra, though her voice trembled. Within minutes, warships from 3 sectors warped in. Cruisers, carriers, dreadnoughts. The sky filled with steel and fire. This time, Corin growled, we'll bury that ghost. But far away, the Oblivion waited, hidden behind a shadow of a dying star. Captain Arik Hayes watched the Empire gather like insects drawn to light. His AI spoke softly, enemy strength overwhelming. He smiled. Good, let them come. The Empire fleet opened fire. Thousands of plasma beams tore through space, bright as a burning sun. But before they could strike, the Oblivion released a pulse, a deep, blue wave that rippled through the void. Every ship stopped. Engines froze. Weapons failed. Gravity twisted. One by one, the massive Imperial cruisers began to fold and crumble, as if invisible hands were crushing them. What? What is this power? Lyra cried. Something beyond science, Corin whispered. Something. Human. Within seconds, the Great Armada was nothing but drifting metal. The galaxy's most powerful empire had fallen to a single human ship. Corin stared at the wreckage. His voice broke. How can one ship do this? A new signal appeared on his screen. A voice spoke, calm, controlled, unstoppable. You called us extinct. Now we call you history. The line went dead, and the Oblivion turned toward the Empire's homeworld. The Empire's homeworld burned under a dark sky. City lights flickered like dying stars. Communication towers lay silent. Every broadcast channel, every military frequency, all jammed by one ship. The Oblivion hung above the planet, calm and unshaken. Admiral Corin stood on the observation deck, watching the massive warship block out the sun. His fleet was gone. His empire broken, he whispered. Who are you people? Then the transmission began. Every screen across the galaxy lit up. A human face appeared. Captain Arik Hayes. His eyes were cold, his voice steady. We were the forgotten, the slaves, the weak. You erased our worlds, you took our future. But humans don't vanish. We evolve. His words echoed through every colony, every imperial system. Behind him, the oblivion glowed brighter, a symbol of power and vengeance. You built an empire on fear. Now you will live in it. The message ended, and silence fell again. Across the stars, leaders watched in disbelief. Some called it rebellion, others called it justice. But one thing was clear: humanity had returned. In the command center, Corrin fell to his knees. This is the end. But the human captain spoke one last time, his voice softer now. No, Admiral. This is the beginning of balance. Then the oblivion turned away, vanishing into hyperspace, leaving behind nothing but wreckage and a legend that would never die. The galaxy would remember that day, when one forgotten species rose from the ashes and reminded the universe who they truly were.